Is it getting hot in here?
Oh, now that we've done some work with Monopoly, let's start analyzing what's better, Monopoly or perfect competition? So, how should society view monopolies? Should we welcome them or should we push them away, bust up the monopolies when they happen, and try to create perfect competition? What's better for society in the short run, in the long run? What kind of questions should we be asking about this? There are no easy answers. There's pros and cons. Yep, it's one more of those things that, what's that little quote over there? If you're 20 and not idealistic, you don't have a heart. If you're 60 and don't see shades of gray, you don't have a brain. It's a friend of mine, Chris Borello, riffing on prior quotes. Yes, it's a complex topic. No easy binary black and white. Sorry. So one lens through which to critique all this and think about this is the idea of consumer surplus. How much do consumers have left over after they show up to the market, being willing to pay some amount, getting to pay less than that, and they have that money left over? So we always talk about the difference between the demand curve and the cost, right? Or the price that they pay. So if you look at the area of the turquoise triangle, that's the total consumer surplus accruing to all consumers that buy this amount of the good. But over in monopoly land, we use the same demand curve, right? So the overall market demand curve, now it's been served by one firm. So the marginal revenue curve under the demand curve, we know how to choose price and quantity. Quantity is chosen where MR, marginal revenue, is exactly equal to marginal cost, MC. Choose that quantity, then price at the demand curve. That's the most you can charge and still sell the quantity that you want. So at a higher price and lower quantity, what happens to consumer surplus? It drops. The new size of that triangle is much smaller. Now, some of that consumer surplus gets reassigned or redistributed rather to producers as profit, but some is just lost forever. The yellow triangle is the lost consumer surplus that is not collected as profit. And so it basically just doesn't happen because those trades don't happen, right? Any trade above of the monopoly quantity won't happen, even though those trades would yield some consumer surplus. We call that deadweight loss. So it's clear that in that case, monopoly profit rather comes at consumers' expense. And so to avoid that, government can try to attempt to prevent monopoly behavior, to push prices back down, create competition again. Those basket of policies are called antitrust policies. It's worthwhile to note that that's not the only concern of the government, is to keep up protection of competition so that we can have a better functioning free market system that serves consumers as well as producers. But it is one important one, and it's defended by judges who are politically appointed, and so it can have some political feeling as well. As sort of some political parties are more friendly to big business than others, and those businesses really don't want to get their monopolies broken up. The other thing to think about is when you protect firms, you're protecting profit, and you're potentially protecting innovation if those firms are innovative. There's a lot of stuff to think about when it comes to monopolies.